The NFL's going to the dogs, guys. Let's face it. Yesterday, 12 games, 9 underdogs covered, 6 of those damn dogs won outright. Now, listen, I've always maintained that when the underdogs are hitting at that rate, only 2 things are happening, and neither one of them are good from a gambler's perspective. Number 1, sports books are making an absolute fortune. Why? Because number 2, gamblers generally always gravitate towards the favorites. It's basic human nature. Listen, I know myself when I'm handicapping a card, if I'm looking at a set of games after I've taken like a 40-game card on college football Saturday, and I've narrowed it down to like maybe 6 or 7 games, and I find 6 or 7 of them are favorites, it's like, oh man, I got to go back and relook at this card because I know not that many favorites are going to be coming in and cashing. That's just the way it is. But the underdogs have absolutely owned football so far this year. And yet, I know it's hard to believe, at the end of the season, it'll be about a 50-50 split because everything is cyclical. But still, you can't deny the fact that the underdogs did go 9-3 yesterday. You had 6 outright winners: the Saints, the Texans, the Steelers, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the 49ers. And for the year, going into this Monday night game, the underdogs are now 47, 38, and 6 versus the odds makers. 34 of those 47 puppies have barked outright, including Monday night domination. Yes, you've got Monday night game number 7 going tonight. So far, the underdogs are 5-1 against the spread on Mondays. 4 of those puppies have won outright, and the only one to escape the kennel, the Green Bay Packers, when they crushed the Kansas City Chiefs a few weeks ago. Listen, I think the Philadelphia and New York Giants game is a damn tough game, and I think this number is a little strange, but I'm going to talk about that game, give you my thoughts on it, and give you a free play today in baseball as well. That's all coming up in just a moment. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm Al DeMarco, and this is going to be your Monday video report. Listen, handicappers, by and large, had a great day here on the site on Sunday, leading the charge, Steve Boudin's #1 football crew. Last season, the Cali Cartel made it 4 winners in 4 days with their first 100-dime football release in the NFL this season yesterday as they cashed in with the San Francisco 49ers, a 2-point home dog. Yeah, you got it outright, 25-22 over Baltimore. You got that play for savings of $66 off the regular price. When I saw that they were going for their 5th winner in 5 days today and it was another 100-dime max wager release, well, you better believe I made it the half-price play of the day. That's right, 5th winner in 5 days, 100-dime max wager, your Philadelphia, New York side, half-price play of the day simply by using coupon code CALI, C-A-L-I, CALI, C-A-L-I. Keep in mind, they hit 50-dime plays with Stanford crushing UCLA on Thursday night. Friday night in college football, Houston 42-7 road rout of Tulane. Saturday in college football, Texas Tech getting the job done with all those unanswered points in the second half at Iowa State. This play is twice as strong. And they're on a 26-12 run with 50-dime releases the past 2 years, college and pro, including the Patriots in the Super Bowl last year. This play is just as twice as strong, and it's just as strong as yesterday's winner on the 49ers outright, and it's half price by using coupon code CALI, C-A-L-I. Now, to me, the way to play this game tonight is the total, because I just don't think the number is very good in that particular case either. I think the side is wrong, which I'll talk about in a moment. I think this total is a little bizarre too. I'm going for winning day number 18 out of 24. I've got 15-dime football winner number 8 out of 9. My Monday night total of the year matches yesterday's winner on the Vikings, matches what was Saturday's winner on Baylor. In fact, I'm 14-4 roll with 15-dime releases, which match my normal top-rated play, including 8 out of 9. You save $75 by using coupon code MONDAY14, MONDAY14, M-O-N-D-A-Y, and the number 14. FYI, little heads up for you, and I try to give you the heads up on the site and here on the video report whenever I can when I have the plays available in front of me, because I always try to save you guys money just in case you happen to have, like for example, I'll give you one. Brad Wilton rebounded from a rare losing day on Saturday with his 100-dime winner, I think number 10 out of 14 yesterday on the Vikings. Well, I gave you the heads up that my best bet yesterday happened to be on the Vikings as well. So if you had my package or if you had his package, well, you already knew who the other one's play was. That's what I try to do, just like, for example, yesterday. The only guy who had a tough loss was Matt Rivers with a blank check Game of the Year play. He was on the Patriots. What a brutal backdoor cover the Colts got. Why do they call it the prevent defense? Because in Las Vegas, it simply means the prevent defense prevents you from covering games when you're on the chalks. And you saw it again last night. Well, I also gave you the heads up that Craig Davis, on the other hand, was going for a fourth straight 100-dime max wager play. He was on the Colts. So if you had to play a package play with Davis, you knew exactly who Matt was on. Well, today with this total, the Monday Night Total of the Year selection for me, I can tell you that Anthony Redd, who's fresh off a 100-dime winner yesterday on the Bears, plus the points at Detroit, who is seeking winning day number 7 out of 8, has his 80-dime winner number 10 out of 14, and he is on the same total that I am tonight. Not only did he hit that 100-dimer yesterday, but he had the 80-dimer just as strong with Michigan State outright over Michigan on Saturday. Had the 100-dime college dog of the year with Utah State, the 8.5-point dog, beating up Boise State on Friday night. So he's been on quite a roll as well. And again, we have the exact same total on this play. So, don't jinx me, A-Red. Okay, let's continue now. Let's talk about the games. First of all, I want to talk about baseball here. You've got game number 3 of the ALCS tonight with the Blue Jays returning home down a 2-0 hole against Kansas City. Of course, not exactly foreign territory in a way for the Blue Jays, who found themselves trailing 0-2 when they took to Texas for games 3 and 4 of the ALDS, and they put 13 runs on the board in those 2 games to sweep, and then came back in the pivotal game number 5 to win. What happened in Kansas City is simply the Blue Jays, well, they didn't hit. 3 hits in the opener, only 3 runs in game number 2. But tonight, I'm willing to take them on the run line plus $1.25. Now, full disclosure time. I have the Blue Jays in the series minus $1.55. This is not a bailout play, okay? Because it makes no sense for me to bet the Blue Jays tonight because I need them to win down 2-0 in a best-of-7 series. You understand where I'm coming from? To me, the bailout play would be, God forbid if they lose tonight, I'm taking R.A. Dickey. Here, I'll tell you right now, I'm taking R.A. Dickey on the run line tomorrow night. No ifs, ands, or buts, because the Blue Jays aren't going to get swept. But I don't think they're going to be in that position. I like them here tonight. They're going with Marcus Stroman. Remember, they bypassed David Price, pitching him on 3.5 days of rest. They could have in game number 5 at home. Instead, they went to Stroman. This is a guy who tore a knee ligament back in March in the fielding drill, who missed almost the entire season, came back in September, and then in September, in 2 home starts, outstanding. 2-0 with a earned run average of like 0.64. And in fact, the Blue Jays won all 4 of his final regular season starts. And who did they pick for game number 5 against Texas? Yes, they picked Stroman because of his energy, because he's an unflappable type of guy. Did he pitch great? No, not really. I mean, he gave up 4 runs, the same number that Cole Hamels did for the Rangers in 7 innings of work. But hey, you know what happened in the 7th inning of that game. What can I say? But the bottom line is this. They have confidence when he is on the hill. This is a guy who went 7-2 with a 2.63 earned run average a year ago, pitching at home. I'm going to go with the Blue Jays on the run line here tonight. I used Kansas City and Johnny Cueto as a free play in game number 5 at home against Houston. Yes, Cueto showed up that night. The guy that they traded 3 top prospects for showed up, was dominant, 2 runs, 8 innings of work. But let's keep in mind that this is the same Johnny Cueto that in his first 13 starts for the Royals had a 4.76 earned run average, right? And then he allowed 4 runs in his first postseason game pitching at home against those same Astros. Well, here's a little tidbit for you. Cueto's made 7 road starts since joining the Royals. 7 road starts. Kansas City has lost 6 of those 7 games. And irony of all ironies, where was his first start, his debut in a Kansas City uniform? Against the Toronto Blue Jays at the Rogers Center. So I'm going to go with the Blue Jays here. Listen, the Blue Jays had won 25 of 33 home games before they lost the first 2 games at home against Texas, and then they came back with 3 straight wins in the series, as you know, including another home win, okay? They're dominant at home. They're a different team at home offensively. You don't have those long, deep power alleys that they were facing in Kauffman Stadium. You don't have the cold, chilly weather. No, you got the climate-controlled center there at the Rogers Center. It's a great place. There's a reason that they hit over half of their home runs at home this season. Oh, God, it was 123 out of 232, I think. Yeah, because it was a reverse of the numbers. 123 of their 232 homers this season, and of course they led the major leagues in home runs, came at home. I like them in this spot, and I'm going to ride them. Now, let's talk about the Eagles-Philadelphia game. I used the Eagles in the first 2 games of this season. I lost both of those games. You think I'm going to bet on the Eagles again tonight? No. And I got to be honest with you, I don't like this line. I mean, I don't understand how it's a 5.5-point line. Oh, listen, I understand exactly how it's a 5.5-point line. It's because suddenly everybody sees that the Eagles, the offense awoke last week at home against New Orleans. I know New Orleans just cost me and you money on Thursday night. I know they just beat the Falcons at home on Thursday night. But this New Orleans team sucks, okay? They have no defense. I mean, that's been proven since game 1 of the preseason. So for the Eagles to suddenly run for 186 yards, to average over 5 yards a carry, for them to put 35-plus points on the board against New Orleans at home, well, people are overreacting. And plus, you had a Giants team that needed another fourth-quarter rally to come back in the closing seconds to beat San Francisco at home in that nationally televised game a week ago. In reality, I think this line should be 3.5 Philadelphia, maybe 3. 3.5. 5.5, now down to 5. Some places even 4.5 as I do this video report at 3:15 a.m. Eastern time here. I just don't see this price. I think the Eagles would be the way I would go if you put a gun to my head and force me into it. But that's just an ugly number. I just can't get with it. I mean, listen, I think that this could be one of those games that's decided by a field goal, or it could be one where the Eagles win by 10 points. And again, let's remember, Monday Night Dogs, 5-1 against the spread so far this season. And you have a couple of interesting dynamics here. You have an Eagles team that until last week against Drew Brees and the injury-riddled Saints offensive line wasn't able to get to a quarterback. Not at all. Bill Davis's defense just couldn't do it. Generated very little pressure. Suddenly last week against Drew Brees, they were in his pocket all day long. You got Eli Manning, on the other hand, quickest release in the NFL probably right now. Got Odell Beckham out there, even despite the hamstring injury. He's probably going to play. You know, in the second regular season meeting last year, Manning targeted Beckham 17 times. That was with Victor Cruz out then, just like he's out tonight, okay? Hit him 12 times in that particular contest as well for 185 yards and 1 touchdown. The Eagles' secondary is better than it was a year ago. It ain't that good, and the pass rush may not get the Eli Manning. You got a Giants team that's entered this week of the NFL. I think they were ranked number 2 in the league in terms of rush defense. You got an Eagles team that until taking on the Saints last week couldn't get anything going running-wise. DeMarco Murray's been a bust. Yeah, he had 83 yards last week against the Saints, but the real key has been Ryan Matthews, and he's questionable tonight. He's been the best runner in the Eagles' backfield, but the Giants are stingy against the run. On the other hand, the Giants have no pass rush, only 7 quarterback sacks on the season, and the Giants are dead last in NFL in terms of pass defense, allowing over 300 yards a game. And you got Sam Bradford, who's coming off his best 2 games, which doesn't say a lot during his brief Eagles career. You also have a Giants defense that doesn't do particularly well when it comes to covering tight ends. Tight ends have just destroyed them in the middle of the field. Poor linebacking crew, poor secondary, 35 catches, over 10 yards a catch through the season's first 5 games. And you know the Eagles like to go to a lot of those double tight end sets with Zach Ertz and Brent Selleck, with Ertz being the better pass catcher of the 2. So I think you have some interesting dynamics for both teams. You have an Eagles team that has a lousy place kicker. I mean, the new guy they signed, Sturgis, in 2 games, he's missed 2 extra points and a field goal attempt as well. Doesn't exactly give you that warm, fuzzy feeling if you want to back Philadelphia and lay the 5.5 points. Again, I think the best play in this game is the total, where I think the number is wrong by at least 3 points as well. But at the same time, I think this side is a wrong price as well. But just because I think it's overinflated doesn't mean I'm in love with the Giants either. But again, how many times have I said to you, and you guys know this as well as me, you bet with your head, not with your heart. I'm an Eagles fan, true and true. Do you think I can really sit here and tell you that I want to put my money on the Giants? My God, no, it just ain't going to happen. So I lean a little toward the Eagles, but actually the best bet as far as I'm concerned, other than the total play tonight, is the Blue Jays on the run line, and that's your official free pick for Monday. Good luck, everybody. I'll catch you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.